Gibraltar Company, the Royal Gibraltar Regiment, will fire a royal gun salute on the occasion of the birthday of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. Fire! Number 1 gun. Fire! Number 2 gun. Fire!
I always have bad dreams before a new journey. Dreams of being late, or forgetting to pack my underwear, or
Number 4 gun.
being shot at.
Fire!
What do I need? Maps, boots, mosquito net. Mosquito net! Ah, stay calm now. Read the newspaper. Might be the last you'll see for a while. My destination isn't that far away now. From here you can almost see it. It all seems so easy. Last lunch on British soil, whilst looking out across the Straits of Gibraltar to Africa. What terrors can the Sahara possibly hold when it's only 300 miles from a British home stores, or a bobby, or a pint of warm beer?
Setting off's a bit like getting up on a Monday morning. I know I've got to do it, but I'm trying to put it off to the very last minute.
There are no more last minutes. It's time to go. The Sahara Desert is huge, the size of the United States with the population of Norfolk. It's as alien and hostile as anywhere on the planet. It's also completely unknown territory for me. I'm ready to be tested again, if necessary, to the very limits of endurance.
Ooh, good heavens, it's like going up a lift shaft, 15 floors at a time. Well, I'm not in the desert yet, but I'm on a camel, I'm on the sand, and all right, you may laugh, this is the sands of Tangiers Beach, but it's a good place to practice what's going to be an awful lot of camel riding later on. And it doesn't come naturally to me, this. I guess I'm vertigo on top of these things, but we're going to have a go. Okay, Mohammed, and imagine the dunes around, forget the hotel blocks. There won't be girls walking around the Sahara either, I don't think.
The beach at Tangier is only 12 miles from Gibraltar, but it feels unmistakably African.
Thank you, Fatima.
It's a friendly place, and there's always a game of football on. I haven't played for years, which soon becomes painfully obvious.
Wow! I've done the splits. Screw my leg up.
Injury.
Really does hurt. Shouldn't have done it. Never play when you're over 57. That's the time to stop.
Injuring yourself while the camera's running is a good thing. Doing it on day one, not so good. But this is the Arab world, and treatment is close at hand. The Oriental steam bath, the hammam, is not just about cleanliness, it's also about meeting new people, doing interesting things.
Okay, yeah.
Stretching my groin.
Ooh. That's good. It feels. That's okay. Yeah.
It's amazing how quickly you make friends. Yeah. Before this, we hardly knew each other.
That's good. Ooh. Yeah, that's okay. It's good.
Within half an hour, I feel completely cured. From the 1920s to the 1950s, Tangier was a free port in which Europeans and Americans built elegant villas, seduced by blue skies and relaxed morals. Today it's part of Morocco, and though the morals are less relaxed, the old town streets that drew the likes of Oscar Wilde, Ronnie Cray and Errol Flynn are largely unchanged. This innocent-looking square, the Petit Zoco, was once described as the sinkhole of iniquity. Over coffee, I asked a present-day resident, writer Jonathan Dawson, if this wasn't a bit strong.
Was it ever that?
Yes, it was that. When you say is it still, it's not obviously here, but like all these places, everything is there if you want it. You seek and you shall find. You can have boys or girls or cockerels or anything you want, but I mean, hashish, it's a national pastime to smoke keef, isn't it, for the Moroccans? It's not legal, but it's sort of slightly not illegal, but I don't encourage it.
To find out what brings people to Tangier today, Jonathan recommends I go to church on Sunday. If I could only find it. Ah, the Anglican Church of St Andrew.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Michael.
Oh, good. Very happy. Thank you very much. I'm Mustafa Shergi.
Mustafa
Shergi.
Yes.
Church Katika.
Oh, Church Catholic.
Thank you very much.
Excellent. I wanted to see the church.
Thank you very much. I've been here 8 years.
Yeah, 38 years.
13 years.
Yeah.
13 years.
13,
I'm
yeah.
very happy from English church being here.
Can I see the church?
Thank you.
Will you show me?
109 years, Senate Church.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
So 109 years old?
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah.
And the bishop.
Thanks to Mr Churgi, the church and its gardens are in immaculate condition. A rich mix of Arab and Anglican.
That to share with one another the sign of peace.
The congregation is a pretty rich mix too. The expats of St Andrews are outnumbered by Nigerians who've crossed the Sahara on their way north.
And do they have particular problems? I suppose they do, because they're trying to move on into Europe.
Yes, no
What's
papers.
life like for them here?
Well, they're very precarious. You know, quite a lot of them get arrested and shoved across the frontier into Algeria because the Moroccan and the Algerian governments tend to play a game of putting their undesirables across the border into each other's country, you know.
There seemed to be about half the congregation was Nigerian.
Well, it was about 200 people.
Really?
We were about seven old hands and about 200.
Yeah.
But they're wonderful people. But this one, did you hear the phones ringing throughout the service?
Yes, I did. Yes, some quite interesting themes. They were quite sort of
Well, at
florid.
Christmas,
Some of them,
Christmas
weren't
they all rang with jingle bells, which was wonderful. We had a great laugh at it. Well, you must actually come and meet Birdie.
I'd love to.
Perhaps tomorrow if you're free.
Yeah, sure.
All
Yes,
right.
I think.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
yeah. I mean, people have been very friendly here. There were
Well,
lots of invitations.
Thank
I'd
you
love to
very
come
much.
along.
All right, we'll
So
come
what
tomorrow.
time? Sort
11 if you want to.
Yeah,
11 o'clock in the morning.
mid-morning?
Mid-morning.
All right,
Excellent.
lovely.
Come on.
Oh, yeah, great. So
Just as I'm thinking how dreadfully British this all is, Mr Churgi has someone he wants me to meet.
Say hello.
Oh, it's lovely. Yes, thank you.
This is pretty courtyard.
Fatima.
Very nice. Lovely, tidy.
Haji.
Yeah.
Allah نشوفهم.
There we are.
Swarty having chicken. Hello. Oh,
hello. Yes.
La cucina.
Ah,
For
yes,
lunch.
yes.
Yes.
Hello, Fatima.
I'm
Saying
saying
hello.
Thank
Yes.
you very much.
We're all
Thank you
from
very much.
London. Very nice to see you. Oh, yes. He's been
Thank
very
you.
good to us today.
Thank you
He's
very
shown me
much.
around.
Yes.
Very, very good.
Thank you very much.
We'll leave you
It's
to...
my wife. Please, Shalaba,
Yeah.
Nafasio for la
Yeah,
Medina.
yeah. 40 years. There must be something like that.
Before. Oh, yeah, Mustafa, you know.
Oh, lovely. Well, that's very nice. We're going to leave you to your Sunday lunch now.
Next day, I arrive at Jonathan's apartment, eager to meet Birdie, whoever Birdie is. In these sort of circles, it could be his wife, auntie, maybe an old golfing chum. I'm completely wrong. Birdie is a bird. Jonathan.
Yes.
It's a bit of an unusual pet.
Well, I thought he was a hen and would lay me an egg for breakfast, you know. Yeah. He was lying in the market, he was passing out in a box in the sun. I thought, that'll be...
Birdie.
I thought, I'll grow him for a breakfast.
Oh! Rather
Stop it, Birdie. I thought
nerves. A bit of nerves.
He's nervous. Oh. I thought he'll be good for... I quite like the odd-boiled egg, but he turned into a fella, which was a hell of a shock. But then, of course, Tangier is one of those places where it's hard to tell who's a fella and who's not.
I think he's trying to sum me up a bit. Oh, really? You bought him as an egg? How did you know that? How did you know that?
Because I know when he's got a crow.
It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, not night.
And I tell you what, he doesn't stop at 1 to drive you potty. You need earplugs. It's completely abnormal for a bird to be sitting on a sofa in the library, isn't it?
Yes.
But he's not exactly reading a book. He is a dog with feathers. I love that bird. Yeah. I'm sorry to say that, but I do.
There's no way of reaching the Sahara without crossing the Atlas Mountains, a series of long, steep ranges that stretch right across Morocco. In amongst them are some of the oldest cities in North Africa. This is Fez, thought by many to be the most perfect medieval city in the Islamic world.
Is this the point where the cars stop and the donkeys take over? Yeah.
Once inside its walls, you might as well be in a maze, but it's one that delights all the senses, sight and sound and smell. If you're used to shopping at Sainsbury's, you'll probably not make much sense of it, which is why I need my indispensable guide, Abdul Fattah, a local artist, who'll guide me through this labyrinth of souks and sweatshops.
Busy everywhere.
Those pots are for cooking preserved meat.
Preserved meat?
Which lasts for the whole winter.
Like all the best guides, Abdul Fattah's determined to end on a high note.
Ah, good heavens. That is amazing.
It's exactly how it looked in the medieval time.
But it's extraordinary. First of all, from these narrow passageways, you've suddenly got so much space here.
Yeah.
But also this, I mean, I've never seen anything like that anywhere. That is incredible. So what's going on here? So, I mean, obviously sort of the dyeing and tanning, but all different colours. I mean,
well, it is this.
Talk me through it.
Yeah, it's different stages of treatment of the hide. So there's a washing machine there. Then they get the hide into the holes with some lime and pigeon poo.
Yeah. There's pigeon poo. Pigeon droppings.
Yeah.
Is that good for sort of stripping the...
Yes, it's got some sort of acid with the... And it also feeds the hide.
Yeah, because it's quite a pungent smell.
It is.
Quite high, yeah. And then
after that, they get them into these fats where they are going to take the final color.
Yeah.
Either the yellow for babouches or red for puffs and other uses.
How old are these vats? How old is this system here?
It's actually as old as Fez. Fez started by producing hides and selling them into the open market. Sometimes it was in Europe. So it's really like very old.
Over 1,000 years old, something like this.
12th century is not, with no exaggeration.
It's the most extraordinary sight. It's sort of like a great paint box. I remember when I was young, I had a paint box. I opened it up and put the water in there.
That's
just
nice,
like that.
Yeah, it's a nice comparison.
Fez is a magical city, and I have to leave it far too soon. But I've a suspicion it won't be the last temptation that lies between me and the Sahara. If Fez was a little reserved, then Marrakesh is wide open. If you've got it, you flaunt it. Whatever it is, and whatever it costs. a very nice shoe, but I can't go as high as 350.
The
It's
good
too
quality. How much you can you pay your price?
Much. 150?
Yes, 150 each.
150 each. I'm not good at math, but I know 150 each is 300.
350 for bout.
Yeah, no, I
For
can't.
one, 150.
One's not really
Yes.
enough, is it, really? I think
Two.
you need two.
Two,
Yeah.
300.
Two for 300?
Yes.
Ah, you're coming
This is-
down. How about 200?
280.
200.
280.
220 for two?
250.
No.
240.
Sorry about that. No.
How
sorry.
much your last
No,
price?
220, that's it. Sorry, that's it.
Anyway, yellow isn't really my colour.
Absolutely the top. No, no, it's slippers I'm after.
From Marrakesh, it's all uphill to the Sahara. Passing first of all through the land of the Berber people, one of whom is my companion Amina. Though she's spent so much time working in America, her accent is more Mafia than Moroccan.
Are we already in the Berber
Yes, we
villages?
are. Yes, we are in the Berber villages.
They were the original inhabitants of Morocco before the Arabs came through, is that right?
Yes, absolutely. We don't quite know the origins, but they sure were here before the Arabs, yeah.
Sorry to harp on about this Berber thing, but what are the
Yeah.
characteristics of the Berbers?
Warm people, very ambitious, hardworking.
You're a
No,
New Yorker, aren't
not really. I'm a Kazawi, as they say in
you? Kazawi.
Kazawi from Casablanca. So.
Oh, Kazawi.
Kazawi.
That's good, I like that. The Kazawi. I'm from Sheffield. I'm a Sheffield-a-wee. Talking of that, I must go and find the toilet.
Here we transfer to a more rugged form of transport.
Pick up the luxury pickup.
This is
What we've been promised.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
Okay.
The mountain boys.
Let's go. Shukran.
Thank you. Shukran. 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 Okay.
لاباس ايوا ننقل زي يمكن ايوا نشوفوا احنا
It may look as though we're doing this to save the BBC some money, but once we're out of the village, you can see why they don't encourage cars.
How are you feeling? All
I
right?
feel great.
That rush of blood that
Oh,
comes
yeah,
from
the
nature and the
Air is
most spectacular.
fresher and
Yeah.
yeah. How do you feel?
Yeah, it's fantastic because we're so
Yeah.
suddenly out of the valley and the trees and the cherry orchards and the walnut trees, and now we're up here and there's nothing, just
And there's-
bare,
yeah,
bare rock. I
rock.
can't believe there's a village up ahead. Is there?
Yes.
And not fooling us.
No, they're not. I hope they're not. I'm sure they're not. He's laughing, so I think we're okay.
Is there a restaurant there?
The Berber village of Aremd, 8,000 feet up in the Atlas, is so well camouflaged you could easily miss it. It looks cold and inhospitable, but we're in for a surprise.
Okay. Well, we're not going to be the only ones eating here. We have to share.
It's the national dish. Tagine of Morocco.
Tagine, let me see. Yeah, that's the tagine.
That's the tagine in there. Whoa, wow.
It's meat, potatoes,
Yeah.
olives.
Beans? Are those beans or are those olives?
No, olive.
The Berbers are a minority in a predominantly Arab Morocco. So a dance like this is celebrating more than just a betrothal. It's celebrating the survival of their own culture. coach service connects up the last towns and villages of the Atlas Mountains. It should take me to the end of Morocco, where the road runs out and the desert begins. The sound of the Quran fills the bus, ensuring that Allah will protect us on our journey. At the village of Tademt, we pull in at a motorway service station. If it's fast food you're after, the signs are not encouraging.
Just the potato one.
With a little help from a friend, I negotiate for a kebab, but you have to watch what they put in it.
Pas de tête.
Ah non, non, pas de
Pas de tête.
que des brochettes seulement. Que des brochettes.
Brochette seulement.
Dear Delia, I've just eaten a bit of sheep's head. Would this be best with white wine sauce or remoulade?
Merci, merci.
The last river sinks into the sand. The last salesmen make their pitch.
15. Where we have a vin, we have a 15.
Tiens, 15, tiens.
15?
Oui, oui, tiens.
How about 10?
Tomorrow I'll be in the Sahara at last. So this is it. The last hotel for a while. But to be honest, I feel pretty good. Glad to be alive. And glad that, as from today, I'll no longer have to ask anyone else what the Sahara Desert looks like.
Well, the comforts of Morocco are now well behind us. We've come down the last valley. We're beyond the last protective arm of the Atlas Mountains. Ahead of us is 1,000 miles of sand and stone. And unlike Morocco, the Sahara is not welcoming. It's hard and it's hostile, and from now on, it gets serious. Okay, sir.
South and west of Morocco lies the disputed territory of Western Sahara. It was once a Spanish colony, but when they left in 1975, the Moroccans moved in. Those inhabitants who didn't want to be Moroccan were forced to flee. They were given land near Tindouf in Algeria for 4 temporary refugee camps, which is where they still are, over a quarter of a century later. Their military and political organisation is called the Polisario Front. Their job is to keep the flag flying. make sure the world doesn't forget their plight, and at the same time ensure that nearly 200,000 people are fed and watered in one of the most inhospitable corners of the Sahara. The nearest water supply is 16 miles away from the camp. Over the centuries, this water has filtered down from the Atlas Mountains to fill huge underground reservoirs. Because the water is impure, bleach has to be added.
Well, there is an artificial...
My host Bashir has been a refugee for half his life. Well-educated and well-travelled, he lived for a while in Leeds.
And that water is for everything they need. It's for their cooking, for their washing, for their bathing.
Yeah, for everything except for tea.
Yeah.
Because this is a little bit salty tea, so it's relatively salty tea. So it's very good for cooking, for washing, for everything, but not for tea, because tea needs a very good water.
And it needs
water.
Unsalty water.
Unsalty water,
where
exactly.
Where does the tea water come from?
Well, from another well, which is very, very far from here, and you can't see it.
How far?
It's about something like 50 miles.
50 miles?
Yeah, yeah.
For a cup of tea?
Yeah, yeah.
The tankers shuttle back and forth across the desert, day in and day out. Without them, SAHARA camp would die of thirst.
How many people are there in this SAHARA, in this camp?
Yeah, in this camp, it's the second largest camp of refugees, and we have here something like 40,000 people.
40,000. Do people have to pay for their houses here? Do they have to pay any rent or anything?
Absolutely nothing.
But education is free?
Education is free, health is free.
Water?
Water, transportation.
Yeah. Each house has a tent, I noticed.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, it's the fact that we keep the tents here, it's very symbolic. It shows, it shows that we always have the desire to go back to our country, that this is not our definitive land or homeland or something like that.
Despite Bashir's unquenchable optimism, there are more and more of his people each year for whom the time to return home has already run out.
It's sad, isn't it? There are a lot of people here. I don't know how many are in this area, but they must be people who've all died outside their own country. These are all exiles, really, aren't they?
Yeah. They have fled from their own country, and they have came to live here in these very hard conditions while they were waiting, going back one day to their country.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, they died here. So this is the main market of SAHARA camps.
This is where all the main shops are.
The main shops are, and they are very recent, only since 94 or 95.
What did you have before that?
A shopping mall, however basic, would have been unthinkable in SAHARA camp 10 years ago. Recently, the Spanish government agreed to pay pensions to those who'd once served in its army. This has given some of the refugees enough money to start their own businesses.
I need sort of 2 bottles of water and some dates for
Which kind of dates do you like? There is this kind and they
have got any British dates?
No.
The best. I'll take them for recommendation. Some Sheffield dates.
Sheffield dates.
You know about those, having been to Leeds. Okay.
The only meat I've eaten for the last 3 days is camel. I suppose this is where it comes from.
How much is a camel's head?
كم ينباع؟ ها؟ 400 Algerian dinars
400 Algerian dinars. How much is that in sort of...
In pounds, almost 4 pounds.
4 pounds?
Yes.
That's not bad. Do you boil it? And
yeah, we
put
boil
in
it,
water?
but it takes a lot of time, something like 3 hours to 4 hours to cook it, because it's not the best part of the camel.
Before my next camel dinner, I retire to the bathroom for a quick shower, whilst Bashir's wife, Krikeba, conjures up another meal for us all. Sadly, the hot water isn't working. We're moving on tomorrow, on around the Sahara. And one thing I remember about Samara here, I mean, apart from the way you've looked after us, which is magnificent hospitality,
thank you,
is that it's a very well organised, very well run town. And I keep forgetting it's a camp, and it's not a town, it's a refugee camp. And you are, you know, to all intents and purposes, refugees. Your children have never actually seen the country in which you were born and brought up in. And I wonder what the future is. I mean, how do you see the future developing?
For us, the future is very clear. We will fight, we will continue this fight until the end.
At a school in the desert, these children are rehearsing for a parade to mark the anniversary of the founding of Polisario. With the help of Spanish and Cuban teachers, these are among the best educated children in Africa. But where they go from here is by no means certain. For us, it's time to hit the road, or rather the sand, as Bashir and his men escort us through the flat, treeless wastes along the borders of Western Sahara. And when at last they do find a tree, they chop it down. Well, not all of it. Just enough to get a campfire going. While the stew's cooking, I test one of the unexpected advantages of flat, treeless wastes. Terrific telephone reception.
Hello? Hello? Hello, number, you'll never guess who I am. Oh, you did? Oh, it's Sahara, yes, but what bit? We're just into Western Sahara at the moment, just coming from Algeria. The desert around here is fantastic. I mean, you know, I think it's all the same, but it changes all the while. And we're just having a lunch. They're setting up a lunch. They've chopped down some wood to make it fire. And I think we'll probably be having camel again. Yes, camel. Yeah, I've had it over the last few days, a lot of camel. Most of the bits of the camel, yes. So, anyway, just to say we're here, and I'm well, and I'm fine. And any messages? What? I've won the lottery, yes. And... oh, Pat's in to paint the sitting room. Fantastic. Listen, yeah, no, tell him I don't want that. No, not that buttermilk we had before. Can we have it lilac with a sort of purple stripe rising up and the dado in brown? Okay? Yeah? No, it's much better. No, it's better. We all get athlete's foot at some time. No, it is better. Yes, I am putting the ointment on. Okay? Bye, love. Bye from the Sahara.
A 100 miles further south, I'm with an armed guard climbing a ridge incredibly rich in fossils, a reminder that the Sahara was once under the ocean. It looks out over a valley where a wall and a minefield mark one of the least known armed confrontations in the world.
I'm feeling a bit jumpy up here because only a mile away across the valley is a wall built by the Moroccans to keep the Polisario out of what they regard as their homeland over there. The wall runs for 1,600 miles. There's 160,000 Moroccan troops patrolling it, some of them probably looking at us even now.
And the situation is a lot more tense since the Polisario, who weren't asked if the Paris-Dakar rally could go through their territory, have abandoned the ceasefire. So it's all a bit dangerous, and I think I'll stick to fossil hunting for now.
The Polisario may have temporarily abandoned their 10-year ceasefire with the Moroccans, but the army detachment I met up with near the wall looks ill-equipped to back up any sabre rattling.
They are against anti-tanks.
Against tanks, yeah.
They have very basic equipment, a few anti-aircraft guns on the back of pickup trucks, and Russian tanks, third hand from the Algerians. There's no doubting their courage, but it seems pretty clear that if these defiant exiles are to win their land back, it'll have to be with the ballot box, not the gun. We spent last night at an old Spanish fort. This morning there's a sandstorm brewing as a convoy arrives to take us across the border to Mauritania, a country which I confess I've barely heard of before. But that's what travel's all about, learning something new. And of course, constantly having to say goodbye.
Hi guys! Thank you. Hey, good. Never got to play our game together. Yeah, bye-bye. Okay. Thank you. Hey, Abu, thank you. Thanks very much. It's great. Thank you. Hey, my driver, my man. Best driver in town. Thank you. Bye. Hey. Thank you. Yes. Hey, thank you. The chef man, the cook man, Bashir. Nice to meet you.
I'm very sad to be leaving Bashir, who gives away his British connections by apologising for the weather.
Sometimes we don't have this kind of winds and storms, and the weather
You've
is
given
much
us everything.
better.
You've given us a little of everything, and finally you're going to disappear into a cloud of dust. I know you've laid this on.
Okay.
Hope you find your way back.
We will find it, for sure.
Turn left at Coventry and just take the spur road up the M6.
As you find your way through the fog, we find our way through the sandstorm.
I hope to see you all again.
See you.
Okay, Bashir, come see us again. Bon voyage, merci. Hey, good luck with the eyes on the back. Off you go. Go. Thank you.
As the conditions worsen, I fear we might miss the Mauritanian border altogether. But suddenly we're upon it, bouncing out of the swirling sands onto luxury of luxuries, a tarmacked road, the first we've seen for over a week. Oh, bliss. Even in a sandstorm, the usual formalities have to be observed, or in this case, rather unusual formalities.
Bonjour, Mauritanie. Ah, merci. Un passeport. Oui. Quel bruit.
What a noise. Things like that can spark a conversation. Sometimes.
C'est bon? Ah. C'est fini? Merci. Merci bien. Au revoir.
The hotel may not be 4-star, but it does have lots of things I haven't seen for a while. Hot water, a flushing lavatory, and unfortunately, a mirror.
Oh my God. Ah.
Merci. Dear Delia, can't get sheep's head for love or money. Shall I do with warthog soup? Out on the streets, the weather is getting worse. A ferocious wind is whipping in the sand, stinging the face and blinding the eyes. The locals, of course, know just how to deal with this sort of thing.
This is the first time I've actually worn the hawli, as they call it in Arabic, turban as we know it. This is not cosmetic. This is essential. If you've ever had to tie someone else's tie, you'll begin to understand why most of Mauritania has turned out to help me. And I can't, as yet, tie it myself. There we go. The hawli, as it's called in Arabic. The turban, as we know it. Thank you. I see 6.1, 5.1, 7.3. Good score.
Zouarat is a company town. Rich iron ore deposits have turned this corner of the Sahara into a multi-million-dollar asset. Iron ore makes up almost half of Mauritania's foreign earnings, and production goes on round the clock to fill the huge trains that carry it away. Despite the presence of the mine, Zouarat has pockets of great poverty. Here, everything is recycled. An oil drum becomes not only the side of a house, but the roof, and the doors, and the garden wall. "5 years ago, this family were farmers, till drought forced them into the town. The outer wall of their tent is made from material once used to wrap mining explosive. I wanted to know how they stayed so happy.
Qu'est-ce que faites-vous le plus heureux? Quelle sorte de célébration party? What makes you really happy? How do you
زين عندنا فيه اللي أنا شوفوا العافية أقنع أقول المسلمين العافية ونبنوا دار زين ونبقى إحنا فيه.
The country?
Oui, la paix, tranquillité, voir une belle maison.
Ah, the country, the calm, the beautiful house. That's very good. Yeah. Voulez-vous télévision?
My beautiful house. Every day, 7 days a week, iron ore trains more than 2 kilometers long leave Zouarat. And, unlikely as it may seem, some of them carry passengers. After a week in back-breaking vehicles, the chance to cross the desert by rail is not one I can ignore. I've got a ticket, but I'm not quite sure what for. The railway officials aren't over-helpful. Their primary role seems to be to stop anyone getting on.
I think he's very keen to let us on there.
Thank goodness I got a reservation.
Oh, getting in there now. Should we try down there? Come on, let's go. There's one last hope, the recycling bin at the back of the train. I'm very confused, but I'm told this is first class. Even though you may be forgiven for thinking it was rubbish class. Oh. Go. Okay. Allez-y, allez-y. Vous tirez. Oh. The Iron Ore Express may take a while to get going, but then it is the longest train in the world. Probably. Well, it may look a bit like climbing into a bottle bank from the outside, but actually once you get in, this is premier class on the iron ore train in Mauritania, and it kind of settles down and people get onto their bunks and people talk, and the unlucky ones, or rather the people who travel for absolutely nothing at all, just scramble on the wagons with the iron ore or the iron ore bearing rubble on top of it, and they can sit there for absolutely nothing. And we go on this train down south. This goes to Nouadhibou. Takes all the iron ore to the coast. We're going to be getting off before that, but well, after that I'm prepared for rush hour anywhere in the world. And we've got 6 hours now to settle down, read a newspaper, join the Frequent Travellers Club, whatever. Très intéressant. The iron ore goes on its way to the coast, and we turn inland to a classic Saharan town, and an even more classic relic of French colonial days, Fort, now Hotel, Sagan.
Il était mince, il était beau, il sentait bon le sable chaud. Mon légionnaire, il y avait du soleil sur son.
This place, Fort Sagan, seems to represent something quintessential about the French Empire in Africa, the great French Foreign Legion, glory of France, but in fact largely a German force. But the image persists, and this place was actually used by Gérald Depardieu recently in a film called Fort Sagan. What I like about being up here is this amazing view, because you have over to one side Shingeti, 7th holiest city of Islam, and out on the other side the sort of sand dunes you only see on the front of date packets. Look at that. This is my first sight of a sand sea, a landscape as beautiful as any on earth, created only by grains of sand and the force of the wind. So intense is the midday heat, well over 40 degrees, that the town of Chinguetti only comes to life in the hours before darkness. Then the streets become meeting places, playgrounds and sports pitches. One of the great desert sports of Mauritania is Daemon, a game rather like drafts. All you need to play it are some sticks and a lot of camel droppings. This is the local Grand Master, and before I know it, I'm given some jobbies and encouraged to take him on.
Merci. Merci pour votre assistance. Lose me this now. Good. Good. Boom. No, he said, do it for himself. Doucement, doucement, they say. Doucement. Carefully, carefully. My whole reputation as a on board could be. Okay. Yeah, nodding, good nod. Ooh, bomb. And then he comes in and grabs that. Now I'm don't move my shit. My bits. Okay.
With a combination of luck and assistance from just about every able-bodied man in Chinguetti, I get him into a bit of a corner. Next thing I know, I'm the champion.
Thank you. Thank you. Beginner's luck, guys. Beginner's luck. That was a natural board player. And I'm going to work out the strategy. Merci. Thank you, Grand Master. It's not taking very well. It doesn't look me in the eye.
Early next morning, I walk out across the sand sea before the heat becomes intolerable. The desert looks wonderful, but somehow it doesn't sound right. If that's a mirage, it's moving awfully quickly. Oh my God! No, it's not a dream. It's the 24th Paris-Dakar Rally. 320 vehicles attempting to be the fastest to drive from France to Senegal. And this is just the press corps. For one day, the local airport becomes a media city as live coverage is beamed across the world. No one complains because without TV rights, these competitors would never get the chance to do something as completely pointless as racing each other across the Sahara Desert. At the furthest, least comfortable end of the airport is the only British team left in the race, Dave Hammond, the motorcyclist, sponsored not by Mitsubishi or Mercedes, but by Webb's Garages of Cirencester. Dave's technical team is Martin. 52 bikes have already crashed out, and this David is in with a chance against the Goliaths. But I'm more interested in what he thinks of the Sahara.
Do you get any feeling of the country you go through? I mean, have you any sense of it being in Mauritania?
No, not at all, I'm afraid, unfortunately, except I know we're going south because it's getting hotter and hotter.
And what are the conditions like on the road here? It's pretty Spartan. You're on the edge of the airfield, tent built on the rubble here. I mean, what's it like?
Have you got showers? Have you got rest facilities?
Well, very little really. Obviously we've just got sleeping bags and roll mats for sleeping on, showers hanging off the back of the van. It is sparse, yeah, there's no doubt about it, but it's all part of being on the Dakar Rally.
I've scribbled a good luck message on the front of Dave's bike. As he lines up next morning, he's lying 21st out of the 166 bikes that started. There are only 6 stages left, but with loops and time trials, that's still 2,000 more miles to go before the finishing line.
This is at our airport the morning after the rally, and the circus is packing up and leaving town. They're heading remorselessly for Dakar, which is where I'm going to have to go as well.
Dave Hammond had moved up to 12th place with only 2 stages left when he fell into a hidden chasm on the blind side of a sand dune. He was rushed to hospital and is making a slow recovery.